¿Qué quieres? Estoy segura de que quieres aprender cómo utilizar el verbo querer. The Spanish verb querer is tricky. It means to want, but it's not always used exactly the same way as its English equivalent. And it's an irregular verb with a special conjugation. So, what better way to learn this conjugation and when to use it than, you guessed it, with chunks? Maura, Spring Spanish teacher, is here for you. Número 1. Chunks with querer you cannot live without. Te quiero. Querer can work as an alternative to amar in Spanish. Corey made a whole video about this that you can check out here if you're feeling curious, romantic, or both. Use it towards people or pets. It doesn't really work with things. So you can say, en mi familia queremos mucho a los animales. Mis amigos me quieren un montón y yo a ellos. Si quieres. It can work as an answer just as it would in English. Use it anytime you feel neutral about something. Pedimos comida. Si quieres. Cuando quieras. Works very similarly, but it specifies that we're talking about when to do something. Sometimes it also works as an invitation to do something. For example, waiters might say this when they're waiting for you to pay for your meal, so you know you can do it now. Donde and quién can also work with this quieras. ¿Dónde comemos? Donde quieras. ¿Y a quién invito? A quien quieras. Ya quisiera. This is essentially the I wish of English. It shows doubt. At the same time, it clarifies that yes, I would like it to be true, but the reality is either the opposite or the thing itself is just very unlikely. ¿Y si invitamos a Angelina Jolie? Ya quisiera. Quiera o no quiera. Quiera o no. This one you can use to say something has to happen regardless of how you feel about it. The second option is just shorter without the quiera at the end. So you can say things like, estoy full de trabajo, así que tengo que quedarme en casa y terminar, quiera o no quiera. ¿Qué más quieres? So this is more of a rhetorical question, not intended to be answered. It's all about what else can you wish for. So it's something you say anytime things are extremely good or fully going your way. Angelina Jolie viene a la fiesta. ¿Es en serio? O sea, ¿qué más quieres? I'm going to save the best one for the end, so stick with me till then if you want to get an extra chunk popularized by our beloved Hispanic character, El Chavo del Ocho. I swear there's probably no Latin American that wouldn't recognize it. Número 2. Conjugating querer in the present tense. So you feel confident in using this verb today? Let's go over a little role play to show you how to conjugate this verb in the present tense. ¿Quieres salir? No, realmente no quiero salir hoy, pero pregúntale a los demás. Ya me dijeron que no quieren salir hoy tampoco porque tienen una fiesta mañana. Incluso Julio. Él siempre quiere salir sin importar qué. Sí, es que ya tiene planes. Pues ve sola. Tampoco así. O queremos salir las dos o no salimos. Pero hagamos algo divertido en casa entonces. Número 3. When to use querer. Here we're going to talk about the many different uses this verb has in Spanish. I say many because if you compare it to English, you'll find it can mean as many different verbs as to love, to appreciate, to like, to want, to wish. The most common way for us to use it would be as to want or to wish, which are almost interchangeable in Spanish. So you can say things like, quisiera que dejara de hacer tanto calor. El gato no quiere salir al techo porque está muy caliente. Honestly, guys, we are burning up in Madrid. Like, I have no words. Just be ready to get many heat-related chunks during the summer months because it is overtaking our lives for real. As you saw in our first chunk of this lesson, you can use it to say, I love you. Also, it can actually be closer to appreciate than to love, depending on the context. But it always means you like that person or animal. Yo quiero mucho a mis profesores del colegio. Clearly, this is more about appreciation than love. But if you tell someone, te quiero tanto, it could be closer to the actual I love you. Chunk alert! Now, here's that chunk I promised. I'm wondering if you have any idea of which one it is. Nuestro amado Roberto Gómez Bolaños, better known as Chespirito, created this wonderful character called El Chavo del Ocho. This character's signature phrase was sin querer queriendo.
Sin querer queriendo.
Which basically means you did something unintentionally. Use this as a sign that you're embracing the Latin American culture as only a native could. Si no has visto El Chavo del Ocho, anímate. Seguro que lo encuentras en algún sitio y seguro que no te arrepientes. Remember to check that link in the description to access our free Essential Spanish Chunking Kit. It is filled with chunks meant to open you up not only to the language but to the culture behind it. Now, of all of these uses, the only time you can find an exact equivalence between Spanish and English is when you're using querer as to want or to wish. So the translation for queremos comer would certainly be we want to eat. Now, a big difference between these uses is that though you can also talk about people or pets with to want in English, it doesn't mean what it would in Spanish. La quiero tanto. If you translate this as I love her so much, it would have a soft and appreciative tone as it does in Spanish. Whereas the literal translation I want her so much would quickly take on a more aggressive and definitely sexual turn. Recap. Here's that table we always show you just to recap. So remember, we do not even advise on struggling to memorize this. In that case, learn the chunks instead, which will be much easier for you to remember. Yo quiero, no quiero salir hoy. Tú quieres, quieres salir. Ella, él, eso, quiere. Él siempre quiere salir. Nosotras, nosotros, queremos. O queremos salir las dos o no salimos. Ustedes, ellas, ellos quieren. Ya me dijeron que no quieren salir hoy. You learned that it's yo quiero when you want something, but it's a bit rude. There are actually way better ways to say you want something in Spanish. If you click here, Paulissima will show you 5 alternatives right now.